Viessa has the best disable effect out of all the Descendants. Other Descendants like Valby or Lepic can disable enemies, but Viessa is on a completely different level. What's up Descendants, Chaotic Bob here, and today we'll be showcasing Viessa. If you want to see more videos for the first Descendant, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you'd like to support me, I'm gonna leave my Nexon creator code in the video description. Viessa has some very interesting mechanics that honestly caught me by surprise. Before I thought that Viessa's Ice Shackle was very inconsistent, but now I know why I was thinking that. Let me explain. Let's start with her passive Ice Sphere. When Viessa inflicts an enemy with 2 stacks of Ice Shackle or more, she creates an Ice Sphere. The Ice Sphere created then targets an enemy and inflicts her skill power times 259.3% direct damage. And it explodes in a 1.5 meter radius, dealing her skill power times 259.3% damage, and inflicts enemies with 1 stack of Ice Shackle. Ice Shackle are Viessa's disable, and depending on the stage of Ice Shackle, the more the enemies will be slowed. As we can see here, we have 4 stages, 1 through 4, and per level, it slows the enemies by 20, 40, and 60% for 5 seconds for the first 3 levels, and 90% for 8 seconds for the 4th level. And another important thing to mention is that these indeed will stack, meaning that if you use both your 2nd and 3rd skill, which both actually have a stage 2 shackle, these enemies will be inflicted by a stage 4 Ice Shackle. Now for her first skill we have Frost Shards. And with this skill, Viessa fires a projectile that on impact deals her skill power times 863.6% and explodes in a 3.5 meter radius, dealing the same amount of damage. Additionally, if we hit an enemy with a projectile, we inflict with stage 2 Ice Shackle. And with the explosion, we inflict a level 1 Ice Shackle to the enemies in the area. Next up is her second ability, Frost Road. With Frost Road, Viessa increases her movement speed by 30% and her shield by 10% for 16 seconds. And wherever she walks, she will leave an ice sheet. These ice sheets have a 1.6 by 2 area and will inflict enemies that touch it with a stage 2 Ice Shackle. Now for her third ability we have Cold Snap. And with this skill, Viessa fires a 10 by 3 meter area that deals her skill power times 1084.4% and inflicts the enemies with stage 2 Ice Shackle. And lastly, for Viessa's fourth ability we have Blizzard. And Viessa creates a 4 meter radius blizzard that deals her skill power times 1423.5% damage every 2 seconds for 6 seconds, and inflicts the enemies with stage 3 Ice Shackle. After 6 seconds the blizzard explodes, dealing her skill power times 1830.2% damage in a 6 meter radius, and inflicts enemies with stage 4 Ice Shackle. Overall, this is a strong and fun ability for Viessa. And if you find yourself surrounded by enemies, this skill will definitely save you. Viessa is an extremely useful Descendant. Slowing all the enemies with different levels of Ice Shackle really made a difference against those enemies that rush you. And it made those encounters that should have been terrifying into very fun fights. I highly recommend Viessa to support or even solo players, because with Ice Shackles, you can make those difficult fights into easy ones. But those are my thoughts on Viessa. Let me know how you feel about this Descendant on the comment section below. And that's Viessa's breakdown Descendants. If you found it useful, please leave a like, it really helps out. Now let's take a look at the gameplay.
Data as well. Can anyone think why?
Nothing comes to mind. My only guess is that this place is somehow connected to the Ironheart. Descendant. Unfortunately, none of the Ancestors' data remains in this terminal. I will check the other terminals, but it seems the Vulgus were successful with their extraction.
That can't be right. If it were possible to fully extract the data, then the Magisters would have already done it.
Until recently, it would have been impossible for the Vulgus as well.
Descendant, did you come here looking for me? Or did you come to witness the superior technology of the Vulgus? I am Greg, commander of the invading Vulgus forces. It is a shame that I am unable to face you directly.
Chill.
This terminal also does not contain the Ancestors' data.
And that's all for this video. If it was entertaining or useful, please leave a like, it really helps out. And if you want to see more videos for the first Descendant, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Later.